For Pakistan, of course, you have a long-term Balochistan issue, you have other issues, domestic issue. For Afghanistan, you really cannot build a modern nation state. You still use some kind of tribalism. You still use some kind of local religion, based ideology. That will not make you to build a good nation or country. If you build a country, you really cannot just rely on traditional tribalism, religion to mobilize different non-state actors to provoke neighboring country. You have to think about the broader neighboring relationship as the national relationship or what interstate relationship. So
mm,
that's why here I think there is a huge geopolitical element involved in Pakistan and Afghanistan relationship. Of course, you can imagine at this time, India tried to use Afghanistan because Afghanistan, relatively speaking, is the only country that can probably destabilize Pakistan. And also, I think for Afghanistan, it's really unfortunate because if you really have out war with Afghanistan, your economy destroyed, even regime will be overthrown. Then, of course, you can imagine our economy, especially regional economy with China, with other countries, will be seriously affected. So I hope both countries can negotiate because if you want to make Afghanistan stable, Pakistan stable, you really have to think about how to make nation state. Because
mm,
we'll talk about nation state, we're not talking about 17th century European nation state. We're not talking about early 20th century European nationalism. We really talk about how can you think about all these issues through a national or state perspective, not religious, tribal, all these lenses. That's really outdated. You cannot build a country if you use all these traditional method and the means. So I think at the very beginning, when Pakistan supports Taliban, they really also use some kind of geopolitical thinking. If you think of Soviet Union, of course, that's how you defeat superpower, right? So they think, well, we use Taliban to overthrow all this republic, then probably you have more influence or strategic expansion or strategic depths into Afghanistan. I think that's totally wrong because, again, if you want to keep international relations or interstate relations properly, you really cannot expect the so-called strategic depths in other countries. That's impossible. So for India, they still practice the same strategy, and I'm sure that will not work. So the only strategy I think for all countries that can work is how can you improve your national interest?